Thank you very much. Welcome, welcome, one and all, to The Late Show. I am your host, Stephen Colbert, and ladies and gentlemen, it is an historic day here in New York City. As they say in the Big Apple, it's one about which you will not forget. Hey, I'm being grammatically correct here. I'm talking about New York Mayor and Benihana chef on his way to the club, Eric Adams. Last night, Mayor Adams was indicted on federal criminal charges. And I gotta say, it was a little shocking, but I gotta say, the timing is a bit suspicious because the feds announced these charges just days after Adams held the city's first national anti-rat summit. What's that about? What's that about? And I'm being told we have a photo. Is this true? We have a photo of the federal prosecutor announcing the indictment. Something about that guy is suspicious. I can't put my finger on it. With this indictment, Adams faces federal charges for bribery, fraud, and soliciting illegal foreign campaign donations from the Turkish government, including shady dealings surrounding a new 36-story Turkish consulate building in Midtown. Apparently, it was very flammable because prosecutors say Adams pressured the city's fire commissioner to approve the consulate despite safety concerns. That is, I gotta say, that's kind of an unusual bribe. Hey, Your Honor, what's it gonna take for you to make sure I die in a fire? Okay? Little this for you, a little for me. When you on that? Adams was also charged with receiving valuable flight upgrades from Turkish Airlines, including, and these are all separate bribes, a round trip between New York and India via Turkey with a free upgrade to business class, free business class tickets on round trips from New York to France, Turkey, and China, free business class tickets on round trips between New York and China via Turkey, free business class tickets for 2 on round trips between New York and Hungary via Turkey, in 2019, free upgrade to business class for 1 flight from New York to Turkey, a 2021 free upgrade to business class on a round trip from New York to Turkey, and a different 2021 trip between New York and Ghana via Turkey that included a free upgrade to business class. Has Adams never heard of the Delta Sky Miles credit card? You get points back. You get points back, right? You can, it's rollover. You get club access. It's not just suspicious ties to Turkey over the summer. The feds also subpoenaed records from Adams related to 5 other countries: Israel, Qatar, China, Uzbekistan, and South Korea, or as they're known by their acronym, Suck It. Today, Suck It. Suck It. Munch. Well, today, Adams held a press conference where he assured the public he will not be deterred from doing whatever it was he was supposed to have been doing.
From here, my attorneys will take care of the case so I can take care of the city. My day-to-day will not change.
Rest assured, I will continue to spend my days chasing rats and wearing kung fu costumes with a daily break to have lunch at the Panda Express at the Istanbul airports. It's so fresh. It's closer to China. It's just closer to China there. The pandas are fresher. This ain't over either, because this morning the feds seized Adams' phone. And in a totally not guilty move, Adams said he couldn't unlock the phone, claiming he had forgotten the password he had just set. And the Face ID wouldn't work because the phone now swears it never met him. This morning, Adams addressed the phone seizure.
10 months ago, when my phones were removed, like today it was about my phones. Same thing that happened 10 months ago. Today was about my phones. Let's get clear on that.
By which I mean, I need a new phone. Does anyone at AT&T, Verizon, or T-Mobile want a first-class ticket to Istanbul? I can hook you up. Members of Adams' team are also being investigated by the FBI, which isn't that surprising, considering back in November, Adams told reporters, "I cannot tell you how much I start the day with telling my team we've got to follow the law." You shouldn't have to say that. That's not the brag you think it is. That's like seeing a sign outside a Ramada Inn that reads, "We don't have sex in the beds when they're vacant." I tell the staff, do not have sex in the beds when they're vacant. Speaking of disgraced New York City mayors, former Trump attorney and window display deemed too scary for Spirit Halloween. Rudy Giuliani. Today we found out that because of his role in Trump's failed attempts to steal the 2020 election, Giuliani was disbarred in Washington, D.C. Yes. True. Yes. To which Rudy responded, "I've been disbarred, but I can still go in this bar, right?" That's my Rudy. That's as good as my Rudy gets. It's a little bit like Regis. It's a little... Isn't it? It's a little Regis.
That's good.
Dave! In the presidential race, Kamala Harris is getting a boost from the Lincoln Project, which released a new ad narrated by our old friend, actor and cowboy who just heard your salsa is from New York City, Sam Elliott. Take a listen.
I can't believe we're having this conversation again. So here we go. You know who the candidates are. You know what's at stake. Are we really going back down that same broken road?
Oh! Did you hear that? Did you? Oh! Sam Elliott did a swear. I love it. It reminds me of that famous Reagan ad.
It's morning again in America.
Bitches! The great communicator. The great communicator. In the ad, Elliott gravelled on.
So what the hell are you waiting for? Because if it's the woman thing, it's time to get over that.
He's right. It is time to get over it, but fellas, it's time. But I gotta say, is a little jarring to hear Sam Elliott use the phrase woman thing. Okay, son, there's a man thing and a woman thing. And then they use their beautiful things. In a beautiful way, and then 9 months later, a baby is born with a full, luscious mustache. Words to that effect. Then, I told you it was unnerving. Then, Elliott hammered the feminist cowboy message home.
It's time for hope, for change. It's time to be a man and vote for a woman.
That is powerful. That is a powerful statement. I dig it. I dig it, Daddy-O. Damn right. That is powerful. Also, one of the rare times the phrase "be a man" is followed by a positive message. Dude, you see that chick at the end of the bar? How about you be a man, walk over there and keep on walking because she's reading a book. Leave her alone. Yesterday, why'd she bring a book? Yesterday, the guy taking a hard right turn onto that broken road held one of his broken rallies in North Carolina. Trump tried to brag about the economy during his administration, but the brag got weird.
We had the greatest economy in the history of our country 4 years ago, 7 years ago, 6 years ago, and 5 years ago.
Totally normal way to count. It reminds me of that classic joke, why was 10 afraid of 7? Because 4, 7, 6, 5. Well, people love math. People love math jokes. The day before, Trump held a rally down in Savannah, Georgia, and he made a strange confession.
I find it very hard to sleep. I get so many ideas. I'm thinking all the time.
I don't sleep. It's true, I'm always thinking at night. On thoughts like, the ravens, why do they shriek outside my window? Do they laugh at me? Can they see my blackened soul? All the creatures of the night disturb my slumber, the cats, the rats, the bats, and worst of all, the terrible owl when I told him, be gone, for I am Donald Trump. He turned to me with that baleful eye and he said, "Ooh," and I screamed. You know who I am. You know. You lying feathered fiend, you visitor from night's Plutonian shore. Did my father send you? Do the black flames burn? Point is, I'm thinking all the time. Yesterday, I started off, not sure how I started off there. Not sure I started off there. Stay! Yesterday, Kamala Harris was in the swing state of Pittsburgh and gave one Pittsburgh resident is here tonight, gave a very reasonable and moderate speech to the Economic Club, and afterwards she sat down with MSNBC's Stephanie Ruhle at a local workshop. Jim, let's go to the highlights.
Madam Vice President, you just laid out your economic vision for the future.
Yeah.
But still, there are lots of Americans who don't see themselves in your plans. For those who say these policies aren't for me, what do you say to them?
Well, if you are...
We got a great show for you tonight. My guests are Sarah Silverman and Chris Stapleton.